Hey there guys, Tails86 here with Weekly Review, and today I have a very special guest with me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tim the Mega Retrogeek. How y'all doing today?
Doing okay, man. So we are here today, Tim, as I mentioned to you before we were recording this, that we were going to be talking about the latest news that just arrived about a possible translation for free for the fans that want to see Mother 3 coming to a Wii Shop or 3DS download near you. So this article that we're going to be reading off of is from Screw Attack themselves. So, of course, in the midst of all the exciting 3DS news that they revealed on the latest Nintendo Direct conference, Big N decided to go ahead and say, okay, we're going to be announcing that Earthbound will finally be coming its way to the Virtual Console via the Wii U after several years of fan requests. Now, Tim, I know that you have played a lot of Super Nintendo games, and I know you're also a fan of the Genesis more, though, too, but what is your honest opinion about the Earthbound and Mother series in general, from what you know about?
Honestly, an untapped resource. It is a fantastic series, and I just wish this would have happened much, much sooner. But then again, I'd say better late than never. I would have to say that the way Nintendo first introduced Earthbound to North America in '95 was a very influential, time. I mean, they really pushed the marketing on this thing. They thought it was going to really sell. But the truth be told is this game was pretty much just a under the radar kind of thing. I don't think Nintendo was pleased with the original sales when Earthbound came out. But after been nearly what now 15, 18 years now, and now they're finally realizing that hey, people are clamoring about this. But my question is what happened to that little tiny nasty mix-up with the sound issue, or that one song in the game they complained about?
And that's another thing that I actually wanted to bring up about. Now, Nintendo has actually confirmed that, and I don't believe that this is actually true. But then again, they've actually confirmed it, so I guess it is true. But they have actually confirmed that all the music originally that was placed on the Super Nintendo cartridge is going to be intact in there. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong about this. I am very happy that they're even bringing Earthbound to the shop. I mean, we have been asking for it. Nintendo fans have been begging Nintendo for a long time to be able to get this, and as well as possibly even the remake that Shigesato Itoi even mentioned that possibly was going to be happening in Japan. But the thing I wonder, though, why is exactly what you said. Why did they not release this sooner if they already had it ready? I mean, there have been people that have said that Nintendo had a lot of licensing issues, and that's one of the reasons why they didn't release it. But now, all of this coming from Nintendo, they have actually said that there was no real licensing issues. So, then again, what was the real problem of not releasing this? I mean, was Nintendo just waiting for that amount of people to just peak at that right moment? Or, I mean, it just kind of makes no sense to me, because, I mean, they know that there's a big amount of people out there that want to see this game come out. I mean, they have literally people out there going to threaten Nintendo. I mean, the same thing for like games like F-Zero and Star Fox and everything else. And why they didn't go ahead and go to Earthbound sooner, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it didn't. And now they're kind of just taking a step back and now releasing it. I still can't understand the logic about this one tiny song. Um, I don't know.
Because it really makes no sense. I mean, the whole referencing to like, if I remember correctly, I think it was the Blue Brothers and like other references and stuff. Like, I mean, it just makes me wonder though. I mean, even though they're saying that they're going to be keeping the music, are they going to also keep everything in the game intact like how it was originally on the Super Nintendo cart? Because I mean, remember, there are so many things that people will literally go on about, like the whole thing with like in scenes for people. Spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't want to hear this, just skip ahead of the video. Um, Parts like one of the characters actually has his limbs and everything taken off during meditation. I almost said medication. I'm about to say pills here. But like he's in a meditation and he basically just goes ahead and has a spirit go ahead and tell him like, hey, I'm gonna pull your head, I'm gonna pull your eyes out, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, how I'm wondering if Nintendo is actually going to try to rewrite that and then try to make it so that it's safer for kids. Because I mean, you got to think nowadays. I mean, parents will go ahead and get on anything when it comes to a game. Like even something as simple as a suggestive theme or something. Like the same way with like Rayman. Like I mean, I know of some people that actually were like, Rayman Origins has a suggestive theme in it. But anyway, that's going off topic. So, but Tim, what do you really think about this? I mean, are you thinking possibly if you think this is a good idea not by Nintendo to finally release this, or I mean, do you think they're going to make changes possibly,
Well, it's
or
scary that you mentioned that because one game that comes to mind that was released on the Wii's Virtual Console was Revenge of Shinobi. When Revenge of Shinobi was released on the on the Virtual Console, they edited the tar out of it, and it just looks god awful. Like the reason why, because I had three infringements. One was the fact that Godzilla's in it, Spider-Man's in it, and something else. But except the P's the gods, so to speak, from Marvel, they changed the Spider-Man boss-like character completely pink. And then also there was a bat character. It was supposed to be a man bat, but it was actually Batman. Because I think when Revenge of Shinobi was released, it was pretty much marketing three other games at a time: the Amazing Spider-Man and the Batman video game from '89. And they've used the sprites from those games in order to put them in there. But now they just completely just butchered it to death, and I won't even look at it. I saw a video on it, and I was like, I will not download that. I have the original Revenge of Shinobi, and it's horrendous. And I hope to God they don't. Well, the worst case scenario I think they might do is in that scene where you're supposed to hear that tune, another song will probably be playing because they've gotten the power where they can actually just edit it. And it reminds me of well, kind of like Lucas Fever, George Lucas. He can just go back and edit his movies whenever the heck he wants, and that's just really it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. People should just tell him, no, you leave it alone. You when it, they Nintendo knows their fans. They know the way things are supposed to be. They can sit there and just like dissect an entire game and bit by bit and put it back together. And then Nintendo would, if you move one thing, one piece away from it, they're going to be extremely irate.
exactly? I mean, it goes either way. I mean, like there are some scenes that were in like several games that I used to play back in the day that I mean were taken out originally from their later releases later on in the years of newer consoles and stuff. I'm not going to go into exactly which games, but I mean that's it's it. You're exactly right though. So anyway, now to go back to the actual topic, which is for Mother 3 is possibly going to be getting a release. This is a rumor. I mean, it's a big rumor though because we have a person by the name of, if I remember correctly, the actual group translator and the professional translator was an employee of anime distributor Funimation, Clyde Mandelin. He actually said that he realized that localizing a game that this size can cost a lot, so it'll help even in the slightest. That he'll gladly offer to let Nintendo use his text translation files for any use at all completely for free. He'll even edit the files to fit whatever new standards are necessary, including content formatting, memory size, and etc., completely for free. He will even transfer everything from scratch if need be. Just whatever it takes to get an official release out. Now, Tim, I mean, again, I know that you haven't played every single Earthbound game, and I mean, there are a lot of people out there that haven't because a lot of the games were over in Japan, unless you have an emulator. But I mean, from what you've at least read up and what you know from information about Mother 3, what do you think about the game?
Fantastic. It should have been released when they had the chance, and I don't know why Nintendo backed down. During the time frame when Mother 3 was released, they decided to actually focus more on Fire Emblem. I guess it was like a 50-50 shot, so to speak. Fire Emblem got all the fame and fortune, thank God, but Mother 3 just got left behind, and that was so wrong of Nintendo to do such a thing. This guy who works for Funimation, or a former employee, I'm assuming, he's got a lot of potential here, and I'm very glad that he's very helpful for Nintendo. Nintendo needs to listen because that last Nintendo Direct we just had, I mean that was a huge fan service right there. But the problem is they need to listen more often instead of just wondering. Because the thing is about most of the programmers over there is they have no idea what's going on in the like. And I know that their economy is not doing too well. So listen to us once in a while. That's why most of these games are getting Western releases finally, especially in Europe as well. I honestly have to say that they need to just open their ears and just like get out of their little offices and try to find out, hey, or read the news once in a while. It doesn't hurt. Or find a translator if they can't understand it. I mean, it's all right there. This huge fan base just clamoring for hundreds of games that have just been lost to the cracks of time, and series that need to be revamped badly. But hearing Mother 3, trying to get that mixed up, we'll see what Nintendo does. Is all I have to say to this.
Yeah, and that's all you can really say. I mean, that's just the main thing we can say about it, and hope that Nintendo actually goes ahead and thinks about bringing an English language release of this game and to get a green light of it. So, let's see, what else do we need to talk about? The also possibility of any other changes, like, is there anything that if you would have had Nintendo change anything in any of the other games, is there anything that you would have changed in them to have made them better or anything? Or would you actually say that they're just as fine as ever?
Um, no, not really, not at all. Because the only one I've played is just the Earthbound on Super Nintendo. And other than that, I would not change it. It was a heavenly game with an amazing soundtrack.
Now, do you think honestly, also this is also another question, guys. I mean, we're having this as after the discussion of it, but um, honestly, do you think if Nintendo actually marketed this, how much do you think Nintendo should market this on for the eShop? Because I mean, there are a lot of people saying that Nintendo is going to go way overboard on the price for this. I mean, I'm hearing price ranges from $20 up to even higher. And I'm really hoping that Nintendo is not going to literally try to tell people like, "Oh, hey, you got to pay $30 for a Super Nintendo game that's basically a ROM, or not a ROM version of the game, but I mean still a formatted version enough to fit on the eShop itself for $30."
I'm gonna humbly say no. Nintendo would not do anything like that to us. If Nintendo knows that because I don't think the price of certain games don't even affect it. Like let's take for example, there's one virtual console game that runs is called oh goodness gracious, it's by Natsume. It's called Wild Gun or something like that.
Yes, Wild Guns. I
Yeah,
remember
okay.
that one.
Okay, that game it's pretty rare, kind of hard to find, but here on the Virtual Console you can get it for $8. Now, knowing Nintendo's track history, they will probably charge you $8 for Mother or Earthbound, so to speak. Now, if they want to go ballistic, I'd say $15 max. If they go anything higher, then Nintendo got really stupid. They are aware of what the price of these actual cartridges are worth, but the actual digital downloads, no. Nintendo's been more than friendly with these digital games, and have been having different sales once in a while, especially on the 3DS eShop and the Nintendo's virtual, well, I mean the Wii U's eShop as well. My apologies. But yes, they have recurring sales once in a while, and it's really nice. And I really wish Nintendo would push more. And it's kind of sad that most of the Wii's features and stuff like that are coming to a close, like Netflix and stuff like that. But on for the better. But they should really just push out anything. But the only thing that really ticks me off is when they remove something from the Virtual Console without even warning it. They warn people, but people who do actually pay attention don't really care by then, or they already have the game. But except again, I don't think Nintendo will go ballistic with the price.
I don't think so. I try not to think that either, but I mean, we won't know until Nintendo finally goes ahead and gives us the actual release date for when Earthbound will go ahead and release on the Wii U eShop. So, guys, okay, thank you very much for enjoying this discussion with me and Tim the Mega Retro Geek. So, Tim, do you have anything else you'd like to say to everybody?
No, thanks again for inviting me out, and I thank you again.
No problem. And guys, if you did like this video, please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. Also, please check out Tim the Mega Retro Geek. He has some amazing videos. And until then, guys, this has been Tails86 and Tim the Mega Retro Geek.
Take it easy, guys.